Welcome back to Pursuit of Accuracy. I'm Josh. Today we're going to talk a little bit about competition rifles and why I think that this is a production class juggernaut in PRS. In my opinion, this rifle at this price point for PRS and competitive shooting is basically unbeatable. So when we talk about building a competition rifle, especially when you're limited by MSRP like this would be, so we're talking PRS and their base class rules or production class rules. What that is a 1500 MSRP cap on both the rifle and the optic. Now that's MSRP, not street price. So on this setup that you're looking at right here, the MSRP is $1,497.49. So that's $2.51 cheaper than the cap allows. And this is definitely worth every penny of that and going to make you very successful in that division. Now this video isn't intended to be like a gamer's guide on how to go win, but if you are looking to get into a rifle and you're not wanting to spend voodoo money and you're not sure that you want to shoot open class, that's how I started. I started in production class. I shot a few matches in production and decided that I really liked it and I was going to step my game up and go shoot open. This setup right here to me is unbeatable in PRS, and when we're talking about building a competition rifle like this, we're really looking at a handful of kind of areas. So number one, we're looking at accuracy. It needs to be an accurate rifle. Now when I say accurate, it doesn't need to shoot quarter MOA. It needs to shoot, in my opinion, ideally 3/4 MOA out to about 100 yards, and then from there on out, you know, 1 to 2 MOA is fine. The size of the targets is going to be plenty big enough for you to hit them, but 3/4 MOA is what's going to get the job done. So when you get this MTR, most of you already know this. If you're not familiar with this, this is a CZ 457 MTR. So for that price point, which is $785 MSRP, you're getting a 20-inch match grade barrel. You're getting this walnut stock. It does have plastic pillars. That does help with the accuracy. You're getting an adjustable trigger, which is extremely important in this because there are certain limitations to this division that you're shooting in. So one is you have to shoot it in the original stock. It has to be in the original barrel. Now you can thread this factory barrel if you want to for use with a suppressor or whatever you're going to use on it, but you cannot use a tuner, and basically it needs to stay bone stock. So bone stock barrel, the stock needs to remain what came from the factory, and the trigger needs to remain factory. So you can adjust the trigger. That is allowed in this division. That's why this rifle is so successful in this division. That's why I'm saying that this is basically unbeatable. So you're going to get about 1.5 to 1 pound depending on how you fall in the luck category on a CZ 457 trigger when you adjust it. But you're going to be able to take out all the over travel, all the pre-travel, and have a very nice adjustable trigger that's going to be competitive in this class and not break any of those rules. Now you can bed the action and things like that, I believe, and this is PRS. I'm not sure what the NRL rules are, although their MSRP cap is much lower, so this rifle really doesn't apply there anyway. So besides falling within those rules, we need the rifle to be accurate, as we said. We also need the rifle to be reliable. So the CZ 457 is very reliable. A lot of times you're going to hear people talk about the reliability of feeding when it comes to CZs, and that's really was a 455 problem. And I can tell you, I've loaded into the magazine on bags on this rifle plenty of times. I put this thing in crazy positions. I never have feeding issues. It is dead cold reliable and has been that way for me since I started shooting it, and it remains to be reliable today. So accurate gun, reliable. Next we're going to talk about the glass. So remember, we had $785 wrapped up in the MSRP. This is the Athlon Helos BTR Gen 2 4 to 20 power. This is in the mil configuration with the PRS 6 reticle. So an extremely good reticle for shooting PRS style shooting, and it's very good glass for the price point. So the price point on this MSRP is $712.49, bringing our grand total up to $1,497.49 as we talked about before. For that price point, this is going to be the best glass you're going to get, especially for this rifle and for this use. Really is a super good combination. So what you're going to get on this, like I said, it is 4 to 20 power, and a lot of people are going to scoff at that. But realistically, when you're shooting PRS, you're really never going to go above like 12 power. 10-12 power is where most people are going to shoot 90% of the courses of fire. So you get 4 to 20 power magnification. You're getting lockable turrets that are very, very, very positive. That's both windage and elevation. I got a yellow jacket flying around here trying to kill me. Both turrets are lockable, very audible, very positive, very good turrets on this. You're getting an illuminated reticle, an adjustable parallax. So obviously infinity to 10 yards on this. So, you know, dual purpose scope, even if you wanted to use this for an air rifle, 10 yards parallax, pretty good. And so what I have it here in is it's wrapped up in a set of Seeking Precision rings on the 419 rail. So those are not included in the price cap. The price cap is just for the optic and the rifle itself, MSRP. So another very important part of this is compatibility, and there's nothing better at that than the Arca Swiss. So no matter what rifle you buy, especially for a production class rifle, you're gonna have to put your own Arca Swiss rail on this, but it's invaluable as far as using it in competition. Just because I have a 12-inch section of rail on here, if I needed to go and gauge a target, say off of a barrel, and I was coming from a prone position, and maybe in prone I had the bipod all the way out to make me stable, and now I need to go shoot off of a barrel that has a surface area about this big, I can suck this in and bring in a rear support bag, and now off of this much surface area, that same size as like a 55-gallon drum, I can have this rifle completely stable and supported. That is a freaking game changer. Mostly everybody you're gonna see shooting like competitive precision rimfire stuff is gonna be using some sort of Arca Swiss. Whether or not that's built into their chassis, or they bought it like this and installed it, super invaluable tool. Another small item that you definitely don't want to forget about is gonna be a bubble level. 22 long rifle is a very slow bullet, and we're shooting them very long distances. We shoot out to 450 yards on ELR stages, and a slight little bit of cant in that optic is going to give you very negative results downrange. Now, as you see this gun here, I probably have closer to actual $1,500 wrapped up in this. I was able to pick the rifle up below MSRP. I was able to get the optic for below MSRP, and then you're going to add in $100 for the rail, whatever rings you decide to go with. These are $130 rings. You can certainly go cheaper than this, and then the bubble levels are cheap. And Arca Swiss rail is going to cost you about $100. But if you're looking to be competitive in the production class environment, especially in PRS, this thing, in my opinion, is unbeatable. If you think there's something out there better than this setup, I would love to hear about it. Throw it down in the comments. There's some really good rifles out there, and I am not discounting those rifles at all. You're getting a hammer forged match chamber barrel. You're getting a very nice stock with plastic pillars. You're getting a very nice adjustable trigger. As always, I appreciate you guys watching the channel. We'll catch you next time.